Lightning McQueen, also known by his original name Montgomery or Monty for short, is a one-of-a-kind hand-built stock car. His top speed is 198 miles per hour with a 0 to 60 of 4.0 seconds. His engine is a 5.8-liter V8 with a horsepower of 750. Lightning McQueen started his racing career as a student at the Fast Track Race Academy. He befriended a fellow student named Carl, and they trained and strategized together during their time at the academy, forming a close bond. They later attended the final race of the semester to compete for the 5 available slots for sponsorship. Carl offered to tighten McQueen's lug nuts, claiming they were loose, but McQueen didn't know that Carl had actually loosened them. This resulted in McQueen's tire coming loose in the middle of his race against Carl, and he was forced to withdraw. Carl won a sponsorship and graduated soon after. McQueen was wary of working with others from then on and became a self-proclaimed one-man show. Lightning continued his studies, but he kept to himself and didn't make any friends. At the Academy's monthly 25-lap sprint, McQueen broke the school record, and his fellow students nicknamed him Lightning, due to the sheer speed he'd shown he was capable of. The nickname would stick with him for the rest of his life. McQueen graduated at the top of his class and was accepted into the school team, although he wouldn't be given a sponsor yet. He won his first race by 2 laps and caught the eye of a talent scout named Harv, who offered him a sponsorship with a deodorant company called Smell Swell, and McQueen accepted the offer. The company had a tight budget and a transporter to match, and McQueen had to stay up late into the night to prevent his transporter, named Snyder, from getting lost on their way to events, as Snyder had a terrible sense of direction. As a result, McQueen was constantly sleep-deprived, and his performance deteriorated. At a Smell Swell publicity event, a red truck named Mac visited him. He was the only one willing to take a picture with him. Not long after that, McQueen was fired in favor of another young rookie named Sammy Smelter. Mac had overheard the conversation McQueen had had with his sponsor and approached McQueen, offering him a sponsorship with his bosses Rusty and Dusty, the owners of the bumper ointment company Rusty's. Although he was initially hesitant due to the fact that the product sponsoring him was for Rusty cars, which he had a distaste for, McQueen agreed, on the condition Mac would be his transporter. McQueen was entered into the Piston Cup in 2006 and won his first race at the Glen Ellen Speedway. Over the 2006 racing season, McQueen came in second place 5 times and fired 3 crew chiefs. The Dinoco 400 was held at the Motor Speedway of the South. The 3 leading racers all had a score of 5,013 points, meaning whichever of the 3 placed first would take home the Piston Cup and the Dinoco sponsorship. There was a 3-way tie between McQueen, 7-time champion Strip Withers the King, and consistent runner-up Chick Hicks. The 3 cars would compete in a tiebreaker at the Los Angeles International Speedway to determine the champion. During Lightning's journey there, he fell out of his trailer and ended up in the small town of Radiator Springs, where he accidentally ripped up the road and was sentenced to repair it.
Seems like my mind has been changed for me.
No!
Radiator Springs became the catalyst for some of the most significant relationships in his life.
I knew it. I knowed I made a good choice.
In what?
My best friend.
This is where he found his mentor, the legendary 3-time Piston Cup champion, Doc Hudson. Once Lightning served his time, he was taken to the race and was overjoyed when he discovered that Hudson and the other townspeople had come to serve as his pit crew.
I knew you needed a crew chief, but I didn't know it was this bad.
McQueen had learned new abilities from his friends and utilized them during the race, which allowed him to take the lead.
Float like a Cadillac,
Sting like a beamer.
As Lightning approached the finish line, Chick sideswiped the King in a desperate attempt to win, which sent the King into a terrible rollover crash. Lightning willingly forfeited the Piston Cup so that Strip Withers could finish his last race.
What are you doing, kid?
I think the King should finish his last race.
You just gave up the Piston Cup. You know then?
Ah, this grumpy old race car I know once told me something.
It's just an empty cup.
McQueen realized that there are more important things than trophies, fame, and sponsorship, and that winning isn't everything. McQueen gained a large amount of respect from the public for his sportsmanship. Dinoco offered him an endorsement, but McQueen decided to stay with Rusty's. McQueen later moved his racing headquarters to Radiator Springs. Lightning McQueen won 3 Piston Cups between 2007 and 2009. In 2009, Doc Hudson passed away, leaving McQueen grief-stricken. After Doc Hudson's death, the Piston Cup was renamed the Hudson Hornet Piston Cup for 1 year as a tribute. McQueen won his 4th Piston Cup in 2010. By 2011, Lightning had become a worldwide celebrity as a record-breaking winner of 4 straight Piston Cups. After his latest win, he competed in the World Grand Prix, a 3-part race that was set up by former oil tycoon Miles Axelrod. McQueen lost the first race in Tokyo after miscommunication with his crew chief, Mater. There was a series of engine explosions in the race, and rumors began to claim that All in All was to blame. Lightning won the second race in Porto Corsa. Due to more engine complications, all racers stopped using All in All, but McQueen continued to use it. It is unknown if he would have come in first place, as the race in London was cancelled because it was discovered that the whole World Grand Prix was a setup by Miles Axelrod to turn the world against alternative fuels. In 2014, Lightning joined in a Stanley Day event in Radiator Springs, which marked the anniversary of when Stanley founded the town. Between 2011 and 2015, Lightning won another 3 Piston Cups, and he became a 7-time Piston Cup World Champion, and also the oldest racer in the Piston Cup Racing Series. McQueen won the Dynaco Light 350 in the Motor Speedway of the South in 2016. He came in second in a race at Rocker Arms International and first at the Georgia Motor Speedway. At the Dynaco 400 at Copper Canyon Speedway, McQueen was beaten by the rookie Jackson Storm, who was a next-gen racer. Storm also won the next races at the Motor Speedway of the South, Grand Ole Oil Co. Raceway, B&L Raceway, and Rust Belt Raceway. At the Los Angeles International Speedway, the grid consisted of mostly high-tech rookies. McQueen pushed himself as hard as possible to catch up with Storm, but ended up in a major accident due to going beyond his limits. Storm was the 2016 Piston Cup champion. The Rust-eze company was sold to a businessman named Sterling, who built the Rust-eze Racing Center. 4 months later, McQueen trained for the Florida 500 on the Florida International Superspeedway, alongside his personal trainer Cruz Ramirez and Doc's former crew chief Smokey. Smokey helped him realize that he couldn't be as fast as Storm.
But you can be smarter than him.
Lightning missed all qualification sessions, and because of this, he started dead last. He completed only half of the race, then had Cruz replace him in the second half.
Mr. McQueen?
Today's the day, Cruz. You're getting your shot.
Using tactics she learned while practicing with Lightning, Cruz was able to overcome the other racers and won the race. Officially, McQueen and Cruz both won, as they both used number 95. Cruz joined Dynaco, and Rust-eze was bought by Tex Dynaco. McQueen decided to pull out from racing to mentor her. With McQueen as her mentor, Cruz continued to win races for the rest of the season and won the 2017 Piston Cup. McQueen is still living in Radiator Springs as of 2021. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like.